The average student in China is a full 4 academic years ahead of the average student in the United States. Think about that for a second. Our greatest competitor, adversary. The average student in 7th grade here is performing at the same academic standard as that 3rd grade student in China. That's totally unacceptable as we enter an era of AI, quantum computing, and automation. We're about to have our clock cleaned. Okay, the 20th century was America's century in part because we led the world in educational achievement outcomes. If we're committed to the 21st century also being a century of American victory rather than American defeat, we got to buckle up and start with bringing standards to our schools. One thing we're doing in Ohio, the 3rd grade reading guarantee, we're bringing it back. If you can't read by the end of 3rd grade, you're not going to 4th grade until you can, not on my watch. Because that's the crucial point in a kid's journey where you make the transition from learning to read to reading to learn. And if you don't make that transition around 4th grade, your chance of achieving success in life falls like a rock off a cliff. Your chance of ending up on government aid goes through the roof. That's unacceptable. And yet today, in the Ohio 8, whether the big 8 school districts in Ohio, that rate is less than 45% of kids who are literate by 4th grade. 75% of students aren't proficient in math by 8th grade. We're going to make sure algebra competence is the default by the end of 8th grade. Civic competency by the time you graduate from high school. Every high school senior should have to pass the same civics test that every legal immigrant has to pass before that foreigner becomes a voting citizen. If we require it of a foreigner, we should at least require it as a condition for graduating from high school. So these are basic standards to our public schools.